All right, let's connect. Let's see what we got here for the stream for today, March 31st, 2019. Coming at you. Last episode of season 9 of The Walking Dead. Hopefully the connection is all right. I play with the frame rates a little bit here on OBS and see what we got for it. So hopefully there's not lagging. It's a little, okay, better stream with it. But yeah, guys, what's up? Thank you guys for joining me today, March 31st, 2019. It's crazy because we got the last episode of The Walking Dead today, tomorrow, whenever you watch it. I know not everybody watches it on Sundays. So, it's one of those things where, spoiler warning. Let's worry about the spoilers if you're going to be watching on the replay. Spoiler warning for sure about The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead, a little bit of comic stuff, a little bit of stuff there. If you're worried about spoilers, I just would stop watching the live stream. But I appreciate it, guys, for joining me this Sunday and really every Sunday for taking the time. Thank you, Cameron Carson, for the super chat on there, too. Also want a big shout out to Michael, I'm not sure the last name, on Facebook. Happy birthday. He told me for a shout out for it, too. Thank you, William Robertson, new subscriber. Love your channel. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It means the world to me that you guys take the time, support the channel, be here regardless of it's, donating in the Patreon page or super chats or anything there. It's just nice to be here and be a part of an awesome group on there, too, for sure. So DQ123, no spoilers, please, about what you've read. People are going to ask questions, and I'm not trying to be mean, but spoiler warning, guys. I mean, come on. So, Abraham Hernandez, thank you for the super chat as well. Thank you, appreciate it on there. Thank you, Achilles Garcia. You rock as well. So, I'm going to get into the episode tonight a little bit. I don't know that much truly about it because it's just some spoiler tidbits. We're going to get snow, which is cool. I'm excited. Finally going to get some snow, and I just finally watched the Talking Dead, last week's Talking Dead with Scott Gimple, Avi Nash, and Brett Butler, who played Tammy Rose. She was actually a special guest, Tammy Rose. And Scott Gimple said he wanted to have snow on for a long, long time, and I don't doubt that. I would think it would be an awesome thing to have, but it's not feasible to have snow during the filming of The Walking Dead when they film late April, most likely early May, all the way to November in the great state of Georgia. And it's interesting because I like the idea of snow, but is it going to be awesome on the show? I hope so. And thank you, Achilles Garcia. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, guys. A dollar goes a long way for sure. But the big thing is I hope that the snow is not put, thank you, Cameron Carson, again, for the super chat. Appreciate it. But the snow is going to be seen on the show for the first time. But I would think the characters know about the snow, right? They should have been around the snow for a long, long time. They just definitely should have one of those things that they should know how to deal with it, even though the blizzard may be really bad. And so we'll have to see. It's new to us on the show, but they've been living there for a long time. So thank you guys for joining me today. Kimberly Barner, who were you sad about in the Pike deaths? I don't know. After the Pike deaths came out and we heard about the potential spoilers and we heard that it was going to be, Henry and Enid and Tara as the big deaths, which if you rearrange the first letters of all the different the characters, it spells out Art of Death, which is kind of interesting. Is that something that's a good theory? Is that legit? Is it that? I don't know, but probably Enid is probably the biggest loss, I would think. Tara is definitely a bigger loss of the characters, and then Henry, kind of, some people didn't really like Henry that much, but, I guess that was his claim to fame, was the Pike death situation. So, Jenna Person, Q&A Brian, Carol breaking up with Ezekiel. If yes, do you think Ezekiel will go off on his own? Well, from the spoiler aspect of it, yes, Carol gives back or wants to give back the ring to Ezekiel. Ezekiel is at Hilltop, and I believe Carol, Daryl, and Lydia are at Alexandria because the kingdom has fallen. The kingdom is gone. That's going to be gone at the beginning of the episode. And then they're going to go to the they're going to go to the sanctuary, actually, on their way to Hilltop and Alexandria. The snow will come and go in the episode. But I don't know if Ezekiel would ever go on his own. I'm kind of interested to know what happened or what will happen with Ezekiel because, he's the big Pike death. Him and Rosita are the big Pike death characters. Didn't happen on the show. They happened in the comic. So will it happen? Well, the Pike deaths are gone. The Pikes have come and gone. But will we lose those characters in another way? Will we lose them in the war? Will we lose them somewhere else? I think so. I think it makes sense that we do. I still buy into the charter theory that the people who signed there are going to have a tough time. I think Father Gabriel's going to have a tough time. Ezekiel, Rachel, and Oceanside, if we ever see them again. It was supposed to be Cindy, but she was filming, I think, another show. I don't know the other show. If it's Pretty Little Liars, I want to say. It could be wrong, but I believe that she was out filming somewhere else, so she was not in the episode she was supposed to be. Max TWD Q&A, Brian, do you think that we will get a message to do with Rick at the end of tonight's episode? If so, what do you think it will be? Great question. I think we get a transmission, a message over the radio frequency, but I don't know if it's connected with Rick or not. It's kind of just one of those things like, hello, is anyone there? Can you hear me? And no one's there to relay the message, to hear the message. Because Ezekiel leaves the room. Judith gets off of the radio too to go do homework. And gotta wait till season 10. Who could it be? Who could it be now? Don't know, right? But it's a nice little, I wouldn't say cliffhanger, but just set up for the season 10. Pretty cool stuff. I kill your vibe. Thank you for the super chat. I have seen rumors that Ezekiel will get bitten this episode, and we won't see it revealed until season 10. Do you believe that is a possibility? Anything is possible, so thank you. I kill your vibe. What a name. But I do think anything is possible. I had a feeling that Ezekiel or Rosita could get killed off in the episode. Ezekiel could get bit, but that's not any of the information that I'm getting, so I'm going to say no. But if he got bit, is he going to be on the radio and talking with Judith and having a talk about the future? Maybe. Maybe he's trying to fake the funk. He would know if he got bit, right? I mean, if it's so cold that he didn't feel the get bit. And he's going to have a lot of layers on too, right? So how could he get bit through all the layers that they're wearing? It's cold. It's sweater season. Sweater weather. I just don't see it happening that would be just happening for Ezekiel getting bit. And we're going to see walkers, walkersicles, zombiesicles, and whatever you want to call them. They're going to be frozen walkers, which should be pretty awesome. And I'm excited tonight. So, Lyle Bear, is that a question? Fear the Walking Dead trailer tonight? I hope it's the trailer tonight. That would be pretty awesome. That would be a great way to say it. So, Madison Cook, please say hi. Hello, Madison Cook. Krista Starling, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Bride, just showing some love again. I appreciate it. Thank you, Krista. Very cool. Thank you very much. Stephen, it's my nerdy, geeky world. Who's better for Alpha kill, Negan or Carol? That's a great question. I mean, Negan has not interacted with Alpha in that storyline, but it's kind of a cool storyline. I would say Carol, because Carol lost Henry. Who is Negan lost because of Alpha? Nobody, right? Is Negan going to have a redemption arc? For sure. Negan should probably be, hopefully, released a free man. Free Negan, release the Negan, Freegan, whatever you want to call it, free Negan. I think it should be interesting if he doesn't get released here. It should happen early in season 10. But from what I'm hearing, he saves Judith. And in the one little video, he has one handcuff on and the other one's just dangling when he's talking to Father Gabriel about the father, not the father. He thinks it's funny that Father Gabriel is out of the loop when Sadiq is treating Rosita. And Sadiq is the baby daddy, but Sadiq is also the doctor. So what's going on in there? Negan says. So it's kind of funny. But is Negan just being Negan? Negan's a funny guy. He's definitely a funny character. I think it can work a little more here because before he was picking on Rick, being this guy. But I think his comedy can actually be well received in season 10, especially if it's done towards Alpha. And the Whisperer is like, what is going on here? You are creepy as hell, something crazy, So I think that Negan can hopefully have a redemption story. And if he, at the end of the day, if he's team family, if he's there for Michonne, Alexandria, Judith going to fight the Whisperers, I mean, I would love that. I hope you would love that too. You're not going to get over the Abraham Glenn situation because you never will, right? If you're a Glenn Abraham fan, Negan, you hate Negan. You're like, Negan, I hate you, right? But overall, I think the Pikes, I loved last week's episode, right? And I thought it was a good, funny thing at the fair with the dunk tank and the food and Judith and Jerry and the kids. And it was just funny and it was cool and Luke and this and that. But if you knew the Pikes were coming, you were like, all right, here we go. The Pikes are coming. Alpha, she gets into the fair. And a lot of people are wondering, how did she do it? How did she get in there and how did she do it by herself, right? Well, if she took each person one by one, she captured 8 people. And she could kind of do it, but does she know the kingdom? Does she know the kingdom's falling apart? Does she know the pipes are falling apart? Did she make that noise and distract Henry? But wouldn't other people go too besides Henry? I guess. And why wouldn't they make noise when they were captured? You know, it's one of those things too. So, like Chris Luco, Sadiq helped her! Ah! Exclamation points everywhere. But the way I got it, like I said, I watched Talking Dead, and Avi Nash, who plays Sadiq, was asked over the phone call, did Sadiq help Alpha? Is he a traitor? And he's like, what? He was like really thrown off by that. And that shows to me that he's not. He's not a traitor. If he was like, I don't know. It was more like, no, that's not happening, you know? So, yeah, exactly, Lena. He acted offended. But I don't think he was acting, too. I think he was offended. He was like, no, I helped people. What are you talking about? I'm not a traitor. And then the lady interviewed the director of last week's episode that it's actually what happened. The story is not made up. Sadiq was saying, and he turned it into, you know, a positive thing. Alpha was basically like, tell them what happened to scare them. And he was like, I want to say it as the people that died, they fought. And people are like, well, he didn't say we fought, they fought. He wants to act like they were, he wants to tell and relay the message that they were heroic, that they did stuff in the right way. They didn't go down without a fight. They tried to save themselves. And at the end of the day, I was knocked out by them to relay this message, but I'm going to portray this message as a message of hope for the future, that we can come together and fight these people and not cower. So I think that's what it was all about. So I don't know if we're going to get any more explanation about Alpha and the people here. I mean, there's been a time jump. It's going to be a couple month time jump with the blizzard and the snow, and it's going to be pretty rough around there too. So I just think that Sadiq is not a traitor. So we'll have to see. I don't know if we'll get more explanation about that in tonight's episode, but I think he's okay. Max TWD at Q&A, sorry. Bri, when do you think Alpha will die? I think season 10, would make the most sense. What do you got? I saw some questions here. Sorry, guys. It's kind of lagging a little bit. Mark, Q&A. Bri, are they traveling to Hilltop or Alexandria? Well, I think they're going to the closest one possible. They go to both, but I think they go and they actually stop off at a way station or something first, and then they actually go to the sanctuary, and then I think they go to Hilltop and Alexandria. So they kind of break up the group there, so they go around a little bit too. So they kind of jump around with it. But we're going to see, if you haven't seen the opening, I think the opening starts at the kingdom. Ezekiel's in bed. Carol's sitting at the foot of the bed and just, upset. She's looking at a box of Henry's stuff. They find a tiger pin and a birthday card and a little car that was memorable to Henry. And so it's going to be the kingdom has fallen and they have to leave. So they have to go somewhere. So I would assume they're going to go either to Alexandria or Hilltop. And people are going to go to different spots. And they have to go through Alpha's border. And Alpha told Daryl, if you ever come across our border again, we're going to release the horde, the big walker horde. So I think that it's going to be a problem because obviously if they went through the border that they're going to, then they're going to be like, all right, you broke the border. See ya. Lynette Patrice, Q&A, are they traveling with the entire kingdom community? I think so. There's been no report that anybody stays back. Maybe some people do. I don't know if we'll see the kingdom again like it was. But from what I've seen, a lot of people are moving from the kingdom. They have to go across the woods and the lake or the water that's frozen. And Ezekiel's like, we can't take the wagons and the children and people through there, so everybody's with them, right? So I think a lot of people they left the kingdom for good. So the snow is finally upon us. I don't know how long the episode is. Maybe hopefully it's a little more extended. But then we have some other show, and then it's Talking Dead. I don't know. I think is it the Nostradamus one? Or Nostradamus. the one about like Dracula or something. I don't know what it is, that show. But The Walking Dead, and then another show, and then Talking Dead. And the Talking Dead is going to have Melissa McBride, who plays Carol. Yeah, Killing Eve, you're right, Chris. Sorry. The Killing Eve, that's what it is. And you're going to have Melissa McBride, who plays Carol on the show, and then we're going to have, I'm blanking on her name, Angela Kang on Talking Dead. And Nosferatu, yeah, I said that way wrong. I was way off. I was way off on that. But yeah, it's Killing Eve tonight, and then I know the Nosferatu thing was that, and then they have hopefully you saw the news that Fear the Walking Dead is coming back June 2nd. So June 2nd is going to be Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 1, and hopefully people are excited for it. I'm a little more on the excited than disappointed side, because we're going to have a couple, a new crossover character, and that show really needs a villain, though. It needs to be, for sure. So Angel G, I'm just going to do the live stream today, and then I got to do some stuff around the house. I'll probably watch the Duke basketball game at 5 o'clock, and then watch the episode, and then do my review, and then anything we can catch in it. I'll have some videos for, Monday and the rest of the week, and then I'll be hopefully getting some good stuff for that, and then we'll be in April, guys. Monday is April 1st, which is crazy because it's a big month. April's a big month for, Avengers Endgame, Game of Thrones, and I feel like there's something else there, but that's two pretty big things too, So we got Game of Thrones fans. That'll be April 14th. And then we got, Endgame on the 26th. And it should be some pretty big stuff. I'm excited for April. I feel like this year's flying by. February and March went by fast, but April will hopefully go by fast. But January was super slow. I don't know what happened. What happened with that, right? So, Boyd Mark Hamill is supposedly doing the voice of Chucky in that reboot, so it's pretty cool. So I know that's a good point. Wolf Productions' Twilight Zone reboot is going to start tomorrow. That's on CBS All Access, and I believe Stephen Yeun, who played Glenn on the show, will actually be in that. Oh, I'm never sure. So Brady Drake, can I get a shout out, please? Brady Drake loves his shout outs. So tonight is the last episode of season 9, and I have to say I've enjoyed this season. There's been some little missteps and some little problems and some little things, but ultimately they were small. It was minutia. It was the minutia of the problems. Overall, The Walking Dead took a step in the right direction. Angela Kang era is upon us as showrunner, and I thought it was great for sure. So, Mark Q&A, when does TWD filming start? Notoriously, it is late April, early May. I think the word is that they're going to start early May. I know Denise Huth, who was on Talking Dead with Vet Nicole Brown a couple weeks ago, she said they're going to start filming in May. So May is going to be the start of filming. Hopefully we'll get some information about that. Hopefully get some more information about the movies, the Rick Grimes movies. The Walking Dead movies are hopefully going to be filming in Georgia this year for next year or late this year. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the information. And I know a lot of people want to know about the radio connecting with Rick. And I would say don't get your hopes up for that, because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Rick is going to be connected with the radio stuff. And if he did, then that would change the dynamic of it. But Rick's not on the show anymore. If it does connect on the series, it's going to probably connect with the movies. And I don't know where the movie is going to take place and connect with the timeline now, because I would assume that the movies are going to pick up where Rick is on the helicopter, or Rick is in I guarantee at some point Rick's going to be in a hospital bed, just like the premiere episode, the pilot episode of The Walking Dead, getting treatment for his, wound on his side. And I would assume it's going to be there. And where has he been for the past 6 years? There has to be some time jump along the movie series, let alone the first movie or not. So I don't know if the start of the radio here will connect with the first movie or second movie, or if they will connect at all. I personally hope they do. The word is that it's a female voice. So if it's a female voice, a lot of people think Stephanie from the Commonwealth. Some people think Jadis. Some people think Georgie. Some people think Maggie. Some people think Princess. Some people think a lot of different things. So I don't think it's going to be anything super, super great. The big thing, it's going to be like, oh man, who's on the radio? And then we have to wait. So it's like, it sucks. But hopefully we'll get some answers. Angela Kang does give some answers. So Talking Dead might give us some stuff. I don't know if they're going to give us enough answers. Scott Gimple. And if you watch Talking Dead, right? And that's where a lot of people watch Scott Gimple do interviews and talk and give information. He's kind of like Chris Hardwick, who I think does a great job on Talking Dead. And I'm glad he's still on there because there was a chance that he could not be on there. But I'm just glad Chris is because he does a great job with it. And I think that he asked Gimple some questions. And Gimple's like, yeah, that's a thing that we want to cover in the next season. And there's a lot of things in motion. And I'm going to think about my response and how I say it and not give too much away and be calculating on it there too. And then Angela Kang comes on and she's like, yeah, well, that's there and that's this and that's bing bada boom. Without hesitation, she's talking and giving stuff. And hopefully she doesn't give too much away. But it's one of those things where you're like, Angela Kang versus Scott Gimple is night and day how they portray their information on there too. So I'm excited for the Angela Kang era to continue in the season 10, and I think she's done a great job. Deborah, you pulling for Duke or Michigan? Well, it's Michigan State, not to correct you and be that guy, but Duke versus Michigan State. I'm going with Duke. I have Duke to win it all. I had Duke versus North Carolina, and North Carolina lost. So Duke's the only team I got left. Duke's my team, and hopefully they will win it all, and I will be excited, and potentially I win some money. Maybe not. I don't know, but it's a good thing to watch. I was watching last Sunday when they almost got beat by UCF, which is University of Central Florida. That's where my wife went to school, and I felt bad for UCF because they played a great game. And if UCF was playing anybody else, I'd be rooting for UCF, and I was a little bit, but Duke's my team, so I was like, man, I had to root for that too. But March Madness is upon us. It's going to be ending too pretty soon in April. And a lot of big things are happening, man. We're excited for The Walking Dead to come back in October. But we cover The Walking Dead year round. You know, we're going to be talking about filming season. That's an important season too because when they get pictures, when the Spoiling Dead fans are out and about, big ups to them. I love what they do. Much love and support there too, you know. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know, I recently had a thing where I shared something from the Spoiling Dead fans army, and it was just like people taking stuff and spoilers from them, and people, you know, just give credit and just give props and give shout outs. You know, what's the deal with that? Don't act like it's, you know, certain things, it's your information on there, but it's just a whole big thing. It's just credit your sources sometimes, you know, a lot of times do it, but I don't know. Wolf Productions Q&A, do you think Negan will have a big role in season 10? I think so. I think Negan will have a big role in season 10. I don't know what's going to happen with Michonne, how, when, why, where she's going to go after Rick, because you know it's going to happen, right? But is Negan going to really run Alexandria? I think Father Gabriel is going to run Alexandria. If he is the leader of the council, or the head of the council, then I think that's going to happen for sure, too. So, Angel, I'm not going to Comic-Con. That's in San Diego in July. Living in Florida, it's kind of crazy for that. But I would definitely be doing a breakdown of the trailer that they do notoriously for The Walking Dead whenever they have their panel. Typically it's on Fridays of the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, but I can't be doing there too. So Gloria, shout out to Alpha and Beta, right? So a lot of people are worried about Dog. Dog's going to be all right. Dog's going to make it. Dog's going to be into season 10. So I'm excited for Dog to be around. Eventually we got to lose Dog, right? And who wants to see that? It's always kind of crazy when people, you know, when you're kind of like an animal on a TV show, Dog, you know, Ghost, you know, different characters on different shows. So different animals, I should say. They're characters still too on there too. Where did I see my Jacksonville person on here? Where are you at? There too. Bennett Arnold. Oh, nice. I live near Jacksonville Beach. Right. Cool. Yeah, I'm in Tampa Bay, That's where our book series takes place, in Tampa Bay area. Maybe a little parts of Florida and a couple other states as well. But hopefully you'll check out the book series, Fight for Us. It'll hopefully bridge the gap for this October, this summer for it there too. If you like the zombie apocalypse, if you like the big moments, like when DJ, Ozzy, and Alec came to the rescue or tried to come to the rescue, that's a big moment, That I think you got to have comedy and you got to have big moments. And I have that in my book series for sure. Zombies, working together, friends, family, big moments like that. You got to have that. And that was a good moment that I'm glad it was put in there too. And I like that because that was something you weren't really expecting, or I wasn't at least expecting, from the Pike lineup. I was going to think they were going to get picked, and then they were going to heads on Pikes, and then they were going to find out. But it turns out that some of the victims went and tried to save the day. So if Alpha and her Whispers took 8 people, and then they went and they got 3 more victims because they had to come in and save the day, and they took them. So they had 11 people, and Sadiq survived, so you had 10. What was the plan if those people didn't come in? Were you going to leave a message there? Were you going to do that? I don't know. I mean, we'll never find out, but it's one of those things like, I don't know, what was the plan here? Because it was a message. Alpha could have just wiped all them people out, because she could have. She had them dead to rights. She had them surrounded. But she was like, look, you're only alive because I let you be alive. And do you think Alpha is the worst? Well, I wouldn't say worst, but like the baddest villain on the Walking Dead series? What do you think? Let me see what you got here. Kara Summers. I've heard that Luke is possibly the traitor. What do you think? Well, a lot of people think there has to be a traitor, just like people think there was a spy and somebody was working with the Saviors and Negan, and that she was there. And Enid was the spy, and this was that, and this was happening. Like, I don't think Luke's a spy. Luke's part of Magnus' group. Luke's not a traitor. I don't think Luke would be a traitor. What if Alden's the traitor, right? I don't know. But Barbara, another Jacksonville person. Cool. I just hope that people aren't too disappointed with the voice on the radio, because if you watch the episode and you don't know this information and it happens, you're like, oh man, that's cool. Who's that? There's no hopes for it. Here, everybody's hoping that it's Rick or connected with Rick. And I'm going to shut the theory down. Madison is Fear the Walking Dead's lead character. She is on the radio. Well, you haven't really watched the latest season of Fear then. I don't want to give too much away, but I can guarantee that Madison is not on the radio. That's for sure. But I don't know. I brought up the idea that Fear the Walking Dead could be connected on the radio. People all brought it up, and I was like, it's a good discussion point. And that's all it is. I'm not saying it's going to happen, or it will, or it won't, or I want to see it or not. I personally would like to see it be Jadis on the radio, or Maggie's group, wherever she's at, trying to reach out for that. And then there's some connection with there too, because Maggie's got to come back to season 10, right? Maggie's going to probably be coming and going, this and that, here and there. She's not going to be a full-time person on The Walking Dead anymore. But I'll take part-time versus killing the character off or having her disappear. But I hope she sticks around at some point for the rest of the series. Chris Lugo, do you think there will be a dispute between Daryl and Ezekiel when Ezekiel tells Daryl that he doesn't want him around? I think so. I mean, if Ezekiel or someone came over to me and was like, yeah, are you going to stay at Hilltop? Because it's probably better if it's Carol and I. And if I was Daryl, I'd be like, who are you talking to? Like, I have the best interest of Carol ever, and I've known her before you even thought of Carol, before you even met her. But you're Ezekiel and you're whatever right there too, right? I would take it personally. I would have a problem with it, for sure. And maybe Ezekiel is just like, look, man, let us work on our stuff. It's kind of getting in the way that you're around. But is it? If Ezekiel's blaming Daryl and Carol for Henry getting killed, that's, that's like misrepresentation, or you're deflecting it over there and you don't want to have it directed at the right person, which is Alpha. You should hate Alpha. You should blame Alpha, not Daryl. But we'll see. It's going to be a little strife there for sure. There's going to be some problem. Going to be some conflict without The Walking Dead, having some romantic relationship problems. That's what it was kind of built on. That's kind of where it is, so. And I understand that Chris Robinson right here. Rick was supposed to appear in 6 episodes. Well, when was that confirmed that Rick was supposed to appear in 6 episodes? So was Lauren Cohan. Lauren Cohan and Rick were supposed to appear in 6 episodes. Rick's going to be in one more episode. That we only have one more episode left, and it has to be the finale. I don't think so. I don't think that was, that was in the contract. We saw it. Rick's going to be there. No, I don't think so. I just don't think that Rick's going to be there. I don't think Rick's going to have any involvement with it. And it was just rumors, speculation, the word, not their word. So I don't think so. But let's see what you got for questions. Did I miss anything here? Pretty good. I don't know, pretty good. But ultimately, I think that tonight's episode should be building for the future of the show and the movies, and I think that's what we're going to get. Here we go. Mark Simmons, Bry, wouldn't the elements be hard for the Whispers? Great question. Great way to put it, because I'm like, wouldn't they? For sure, right? So if Ezekiel and them are out in the woods and they're like, or they're trying to get home and they're like, yeah, this is terrible. How can you put up with this? I would assume the Whispers have to make fires. They have to find a cave. Or they have to do something, right? But I think that's going to be a thing where the Whisperers are going to survive because they're the villainous group. They're the big group. They're the big bad for season 10. And the Whisperer War has to happen at some part of season 10, I would assume, right? So the Whisperers should be killed off. Some of them should be killed there for sure, But it's kind of crazy that if it's not talked about, the elements need to play a part for sure. So Demon Knight 124 wanted to say thanks for all the great vids this season. Thank you for the super chat. DK, appreciate it. Hopefully you're checking out the series, Fight for Us, DK, But I appreciate the super chat, and I appreciate everybody being here for sure. So, yeah, Chris Robinson brings up a good point. They got them skinned animal blankets. Well, you better have like 50 blankets on you, bro, because if it's like 22 degrees or whatever, it's snowing, it's ice, it's sleeting, it's winter weather out there too. I mean, you better got that. You better have a lot of skinned animal huts and this, and they better be building fires, but we're going to see Alpha and Beta in the episode. I wonder where it's going to go. Alpha and Beta are definitely going to be a part of this for the future, for next season at least. And I want to see Beta fight Negan. That's a big fight I want to see. The Daryl Beta fight was okay, but I want to see Beta versus Negan, and I want to see Negan be reunited with Lucille, and Lucille gets used on Beta, and if you know the comics, some big stuff on there too. So, yeah, Walter Smith, try stabbing a frozen steak. Would it be like stabbing frozen walkers? Somewhat, I think so, but are you stabbing it with a katana or an axe or a sword, or are you stabbing it with a knife? I don't know. Ultimately, yeah, I would think the walkers would be a little harder to get through, but they shouldn't be like moving fast. They should be like frozen in place. So I can just like smash a rock on their face and the face should shatter, right? Because it should be frozen, and then it should just crack and break, and they should just bleed out too. So chip away, drop a boulder on their dome, but pretty interesting. I kill your vibe. Q&A. Is it realistic for Negan to find Lucille after 8 years of it being left in the wilderness? I don't think Lucille's left in the wilderness. I think Lucille is put somewhere for safekeepings. And what if Michonne, gives Lucille to Negan at some point or something, because in the comics, Negan is reunited with Lucille and Lucille's still around, and it's kind of a big moment. But I just think that was kind of a lie by Michonne. I mean, we don't know. We haven't seen Lucille out in the wilderness or by the tree or whatever. We left her out there. So you're telling me none of the Saviors went out there and got Lucille? Could you leave it out there and expect no one else to find it? I thought it would be cool if the Whisperers had Lucille and Alpha had Rick's red-handled machete, which we didn't have. She just had her knife. She didn't have a machete, so that came and gone. Those theories are gone. They're busted, but that would have been pretty cool. Truly Take Cook, how do you think Negan will get Lucille back? I think he's given Lucille to protect himself in the fight against Beta would be pretty awesome, too. I think that needs to happen that way. Boyd, Q&A, could it be Alpha on the radio talking in her Debbie voice? I'm Deborah from Alexandria. Can you believe Michonne came? No, I don't think the Whisperers have communications now. I don't think they're held up on a stronghold with ham radios and, the luxury of things now, too. They're wilderness savages. They live in the woods. I don't think Alpha is on the radio. She's like, I told you suckers, get off my land. My daughter. Get out of here. I can't wait to meet the queen. But I'm excited for, that's right, you never know. You never know, Boyd. But I just don't think they have the creature comforts and the technology. I think they're just like wild animals. Janet, Q&A, Brian, do you think the Whisperers will see footprints in the snow and know our group has crossed the border? I think that's definitely a thing. I think that's definitely an aspect that Alpha and the Whisperers are going to know that somebody walked through the border, that it's there. Maybe they go to the kingdom and the kingdom's falling apart, and they're like, they know they're gone, so they know something's there, or we'll have to see what they are, but they're going to know. They're going to know that their border was broken, and that was their borders, not ours. That's what Carol said. So I'm excited. I want to see a Carol Alpha showdown, but Daryl is connected with Alpha. When Michonne said something and, Alpha went to Daryl and said, does she speak for you? It's like Daryl and Alpha are connected. Daryl got the Maggie part with Alpha, and Daryl got the Rick part with Alpha. So it makes sense that Daryl and Alpha will be connected, but I just kind of think that Daryl is going to be connected with Alpha, and that if anyone's going to kill Alpha, it would be Daryl. I would want it to be Carol, possibly Negan, but I just think it's going to go to Daryl. Daryl gets all the good parts. So, Jason Long, what are the chances of Jadis being on the radio? I think high. I think at least 50%, because Jadis, Father Gabriel, connection, radio. I don't know. I just kind of think it would be kind of interesting if it was Jadis. But I don't know if we're going to find out. It might be one of those things that it's answered on Talking Dead, but I think Angela Kang would be like, we put it there for a reason that you're not going to know. I want you to talk about it all summer. Think about it, discuss it, theorize it, and then come back in October and we'll answer it for you. Because easily they could be like, hello, is anyone out there? This is Jadis. Or this is Ann. This is Stephanie. Hello, can anyone hear me? My name is Jadis. My name is Ann. Is anyone there? But it's probably going to be vague and open to it. I mean, you could put as much information and as little as information as you want. They do stuff for a reason. Writers write things for a reason, to set things up. It just makes sense. I know firsthand about that. Kara Summers, do you think Carol blames Lydia for Henry's death? I think that's going to come up in the episode, and I think they'll talk about it too. I don't think so. I don't think Carol would blame Lydia like that. Kind of like Lydia is being, Daryl is standing up for Lydia, but I don't think wholeheartedly that Carol will blame Lydia. I think Carol is a realist, and she kind of knows what Henry was doing. And I would think that Daryl told Carol, if not will tell Carol, about what Henry did. Because if you think about it, right? Daryl and Michonne caught Lydia. They could have just killed her, but they brought her back to Hilltop because that's the story. Lydia and Henry have the Carl part, where Henry gets a crush on Lydia, likes her, cares about her, and all that stuff. Lydia is given back to Alpha, and that's the end of the story, right? Nope. Henry goes after Lydia and starts this whole big problem, and Henry is to blame for that. Because if Henry just left Lydia alone, and if Henry just ended up with Addie and had a relationship with Addie in Hilltop, and actually did some blacksmith work, he didn't do anything, he didn't learn any of that, Lydia would be back with the Whispers, and there would be no Red Fair, the big fair situation with that. There would be no problem with the Pikes. It would all be that. Daryl would not have to go after them. They would not have to, there's all those things would have been avoided. But Henry was like, she's coming with us. She's with us now. And you're like, okay, you're sticking up for that. So when in doubt, it's kind of Henry's fault. And Daryl just kind of went along with it because Daryl was responsible for Henry, and there's no way that if Henry died because Daryl did not save him, then you could blame him. You know, that's just how it works. You could blame that Daryl, but Daryl saved Henry and they came back and they made it back to Kingdom. You know, they made it back to where it is too, for sure. So, but I'm excited to see how the episode is aired tonight. I thought 9:15. I thought the episode was way better than any of the spoilers said. I thought it was great. See, like, there's the thing right there. Henry Ramos says, better be epic. So you already have this high expectation of this episode, where if it's not that great, you're going to be like, oh, man, that sucked. Why wasn't Rick on the radio, man? What the heck? It should have been Rick on the radio or this on the radio. Like, it's just kind of crazy because you're like, don't set it up too much, man. Just go with the flow and watch it and have faith in the writers setting things up. Because the way The Walking Dead does things, they have a start and a finish. First half, second. First half episode, 901 to 908 is like the first part of it. 909 to 916 is the second part of it. And 916 is definitely setting up next season, for sure. Sometimes they don't really set things up too much, like, in season 5 finale, didn't set things up too much for season 6. They kind of started to refresh on something else. Season 6 finale definitely set up season 7. Season 7 finale set up the war. Season 8, they just they had a big thing in there too, setting things up. And I think the radio thing is going to be setting up the potential for the Commonwealth storyline for sure. It could set up a lot of things on there too. So, yeah, a lot of people. Well, the PT channel initially started, I see people talking about their PT stands for physical therapy. It stands for physical therapy, physical therapist, personal training, and lately I think it's going to turn into positive thinking because we got to keep things positive. And people are hating, they're out. They're blocked from saying anything bad around here because I'm tired of freaking people haters and just doing that too. Keep things positive on there too. You can be real. Doesn't have to be super fake positive. That's not me. But keep things in a positive way on there and try to be on there as well, too. So PT means a couple different things. But, definitely physical therapy because I'm a doctor of physical therapy and personal training and all that stuff, too. And I don't want to get back to that, nutrition videos and all that stuff, too. I was actually at a course yesterday. It was like 8-hour course. And it was a continuing education for, my PT license. And it was all about yoga. And it was kind of crazy to be learning about yoga and bring it there too. And it was fun. I learned all about it. And I never done yoga before. And we did a yoga class and we learned all the background of it and everything too. So it's pretty cool, like to bring stuff around for sure. But, The Walking Dead is a favorite show of mine. It's probably going to go down as one of my favorite shows of all times, unless they really mess it up towards the end of it. But right now, it's definitely up there. I love The Sopranos. I love Breaking Bad. I love, Office, The Office, Seinfeld, Friends. Some things are like just a bunch of stuff there too. I like that, Chris Robinson. PT is primetime. Hopefully you guys like the new intro that I added to the channel. I wanted to work on one. I have an idea for one, and I'm trying to work on the animation and stuff because I've made every channel and every part of this there too. So I think it's kind of cool to do that. I just kind of wanted something a little, put together as like a 6-7 second intro. And I thought it was pretty cool. I like it for sure with it. And it also connects to the Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, we have a PT channel page. We have a TWD community Facebook page and a group. And so hopefully you guys are on there too. So that's a great question. Where did Winnie go? I would like Winnie to be part of the Whispers, but I don't know if they're going to go that way. Claymation would be pretty cool too. So, thank you. I Kill Your Vibe. You have the best outro of all time. I like it. It's supposed to be inspirational and motivational. That's supposed to be at the end of the day. Hopefully, you guys are going to be doing something you love, enjoy, want to do, accomplish goals in your life. Because in physical therapy, we have to make goals for the patients that we treat. And if you make goals in life, short-term goals, long-term goals, you can do it. Maybe it's to watch a TV series or do something like that too. Maybe it's to write a book. Maybe it's to draw a picture, paint a painting, take a class, do digital arts, do something, whatever it is. You're never too old or too young to start something too. You can be 14 years old and start something. You can be 84 years old to start something. I don't think there's no time on it. Never stop learning, never stop being, never stop trying, And some of the best things that I've learned in my life are, failing at something. You learn from what was hard and how to improve on it. You can give up, but why do that too? So, James, great question. How long we were doing YouTube? This channel, I've done YouTube now for over 4 years. It was 2015 to 2019, late January. So it was 4 years and 2 months as of March 29th. So the episode tonight, I don't know the runtime. Hopefully it's a little extended. And then there's Killing Eve and then Talking Dead. So I'll probably watch Talking Dead on the replay. Even though I want to win one of those things. You ever play the Talking Dead, the game where you play with the questions? And I've been pretty close one time, and I got the last question wrong last episode. It was like, what did Eugene say to Judith when she was throwing the balls at the dunk tank? And it was like, I've seen better arms on a spiral galaxies, evidently. And I didn't think it was that. I thought it was like wet noodle or spider monkey. I think I picked spider monkey. And I'm like, but he used the word spiral galaxies because Kaylee Fleming was young Rey in The Force Awakens, episode 7 of the Star Wars. And I thought that was pretty cool too. So, Clippard Primex, please answer Q&A. Could the intro foreshadowing something? Because in the last shot, we are seeing a whisper heading to Alexandria. Could that be related to the war in Alexandria with Negan? For sure. No, definitely. The whispers are coming to the Hilltop and Alexandria. I can guarantee that is if they do that from the Walking Dead comics, it's happening there too, because that's what happens. Alexandria will probably get swarmed by a bunch of walkers, and so will Hilltop. The Hilltop is going to take some damage, and there's going to be an epic, hopefully epic whisper war. So, Big Sexy says an hour and 9 minutes. So it's a little extended, but the commercial, they love the commercials on there too. So hopefully it'll be like 40 some minutes, 45 minutes runtime. I don't know exactly what it is, but hopefully it's there. Because last episode was an hour, and I feel bad for everybody. I got to bring this up because last week, if you DVR'd it, which I don't have a DVR, I just watch it real time. DVR'd it, my dad did, and it's 9 to 10 o'clock. You missed out on the last 24 minutes of the episode. So if you're watching it and then Into the Badlands came on, you're like, what the heck? I missed the 20. That's like the biggest part of the episode. Imagine watching it and you're like, what? It just ends with Alpha talking to Ezekiel or something, or wherever it actually ended. And you're like, what? I missed it, right? I'm just like, damn. My dad was like, yeah, it's like, yeah. I'm like, you missed the last 24 minutes. So he had to go back and watch it, and he found it. I'm like, man, that would have sucked if you missed out on the Pikes too. So yeah, people were pissed, and I don't blame them because that was set up on the DVR wrong. The AMC set that up wrong. It wasn't enough runtime of it, and Into the Badlands, it did it before. Went Into the Badlands first or second season where it messed up or something like that too, and trying to watch it or something, and it was messed up on demand, and you're like, what the heck? Come on. This Into the Badlands stuff, it's like just focus on The Walking Dead and that stuff, because I don't know who watches Into the Badlands. I never watched. I watched a couple parts of it, and it was just a little too much over the top, and I'm like, I don't know. But just run with The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Into the Bed when it's their time on there too, So I'm like, man. So I kill your vibe. How did your dad feel about the Pike victims? He didn't know anything about it, and I purposely did not tell him. I told him, like, I sent him a picture of like Jerry, like at the fair, like, hey, I sent him that picture, and I was like, you better be ready for tonight's episode. He's like, I'm ready. The communities are coming together. And I was like, man, thinking to myself, man, you have no clue what you're thinking. And he was like, oh man, I couldn't believe it. He was like, what most people hopefully watched it were like, wow, surprised, because he doesn't know the comics. He doesn't know about the Pikes. He doesn't know what was happening. So he was definitely surprised. And I was like, man, it was pretty cool. And he was taken back by it for sure. So it was interesting. Okay, guys, we'll go for about another 10 minutes. So if you want to, fire your questions away, I'll try to read them on here too. But overall, guys, I think it's been a great season. We got to wait till October, but we're going to have as much information as possible. Hopefully we'll get some information about the movies, about the filming Fear the Walking Dead, and we'll continue those. Over the summer, I'm going to do a live stream of my book series. Probably talking about the first book, maybe all the series, I don't know. and see how it goes. I have 9 books now available on Amazon.com. It's called Fight for Us. Fight, the number 4, and then US, so Fight for Us. And it's doing really well. I'm excited about it. I really would love to turn it into a show or a movie series or anything like that. That's the ultimate goal. I think it would translate very well to television, how it's done, how it's written, how I see it, how I imagine it, and how I picture it there too. And it's just a good story of, it's a future story. It's not even now, it's years in the future of zombie apocalypse if it were to happen. So it's pretty cool. So Christy Wells Reese, The Fear of the Walking Dead comes back June 2nd. The early word is that it's June 2nd for the first episode. So hopefully we get a trailer. If they were smart, they would have an early trailer for Fear of the Walking Dead tonight, setting up Fear of the Walking Dead in, it's June 2nd, so we got April, May, and then June. And it'll be here before you know it. It'll be the summer. Then we'll be talking about the 4th of July, the Comic-Con trailer that they do in July at San Diego Comic-Con, and then it'll be August and September, and then it'll be October, and we'll be like, it's coming back, baby. But Janet, Brian, more back and forth time skips for fear? I hope not. I hope it's just linear storytelling, none of this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And a little bit of back and forth is okay, but it's just a little too crazy on there too. So Aziz, can you please answer my question about being harassed on your channel? I'm being harassed on your channel. What do you mean? Where's the question of that on there too? I don't see where you're being harassed. Is it on here? Is it just in the comments? Because people love to post comments on there too, man. And it's just ridiculous how people love to on there. But if I see it and people are rude and disrespectful and cursing other people, they get blocked from be able to post on there too, because that's uncalled for. I'm not about people cursing at me or anybody here, any of my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family in here too, And there's a difference. If you're a Walking Dead family member, that means you love The Walking Dead and what we do here, Walking Dead related. If you're a PT peep, you are a Walking Dead fan and a Walking Dead family member, but you also support what else we talk about. So a PT peep is the ultimate fan, and a Walking Dead family member just likes the Walking Dead fan. And there's no rhyme or reason or hate towards any of you guys, but it's just kind of this thing. It's sorry, Isaiah. I saw Goob, that person you said there. He's I just hid his comments on there too. So I just blocked his stuff on there. So I apologize for that nonsense. I'll keep it classy here, keep it classy, San Diego, but thank you, Strongest Avenger. Keep it up, bud. I appreciate it. Thank you. Who is the strongest Avenger? Strongest Avenger? Would you say Thor? Would you say Hulk? Would you say, I don't know, Scarlet Witch? Captain Marvel? Who is the strongest? Ant-Man? All right. Strongest Avenger has to be excited for, Endgame coming out in less than a month. So pretty cool. Dalton Farine, did Morgan come across the Whispers? That's a great question. I don't think so. I think that he was just out of his mind, and I think he came across and he thought Rick was a dead person who was wearing Rick's face. I didn't think he was like a connecting point with the Whispers. It's hard to say because they weren't in that whole idea, and there was it in the foreshadowing of the comic stuff because he wasn't there for it, but I don't think it is. Some milk was a bad choice. When are they going to make a Step Brothers 2? That's what I'm excited for. I love watching that. I love watching Dodgeball. I love watching those movies. And I just need to see Step Brothers 2. Just get together. There's no reason not to make Step Brothers 2. We all want it. It all should be great too. So what are people saying? Hulk, strength. But remember, strength is not all what it's all about. You got to have brains, you got to have strength, you got to have precision, you got to have power, you got to have agility, you got to have quickness, you got to have so many things. I don't know. Bennett Arnold says Thor, Hulk, it's interesting. What do we got here? Mark Simmons, Bri, what are your summer plans? Great question. I don't have too many plans. We're going to go to brunch a couple times. My wife and I, we love to go to the restaurant that's called the Sand Pearl Restaurant. And it's like a hotel. But there's also going to be going to, not the summer, but in October, we're going to be going to Las Vegas and Portland, Oregon, and then we're going to Roll-Off Farms, and then we're going to be coming back. So it's probably going to be towards the end of October, and so I'm going to be gone for probably one episode of The Walking Dead. So it's going to interfere in October, but it's got to be a trip that we wanted to do for a long time. So I'm excited for that to come out to go through that too. Yes. I don't know. Step Brother. I want Step Brothers too, right? Professor Hulk. Yeah, you got to have that too. So many say Cap. America is strongest. I don't know. I just feel like Captain America could get like ripped in half if it didn't happen, or just like there too. Vegas Vacation. Yeah. So guys, I'm going to go for about another 5 minutes on there too. But just a little recap for everybody here to Walking Dead. Tonight's the finale of The Walking Dead. June 2nd, Fear the Walking Dead comes back. It's going to be snow, winter wonderland, the border stuff situation on there too. So Janet Person, great question. Q&A, Brian, possible connection with Glass Floor and Frozen Lake. I don't know what happens on the Frozen Lake because we don't know. We didn't get that information. But Daryl steps on it and he's like, it'll hold. And if you know that the first episode, the glass broke, Ezekiel fell through it, and they pulled him up, right? Could something like that happen again? And is that where Ezekiel gets bit potentially? I'm not saying he does or he doesn't. I don't know, but I just don't think he does from the information I have. But that would be crazy if he did. That's a great point, Janet. So he fell through the glass breaking in the museum in the premiere episode. Could that happen again in the finale? But where's that walker at? He's like swimming around in the frozen water, like and all these layers and stuff. I just don't see it happening. But will the frozen lake hold or will it break? I don't know. I think it holds just because I don't know what would happen there too. So Louis Martin, Bry, is Walker Stalker Con worth it? I want to go to Cleveland. It's close to Pittsburgh, where I'm from. I went on the Walking Dead studio tour, and it was awesome. So, awesome. Good report on the studio tour. I want to go on that for sure. That'll probably be the next time I go to Sonoy, is to go on the studio tour. I'm not sure when, but I'm excited there too. So, Walker Stalker Cons are worth it, and they're not worth it. It depends on who's going, what you're going to do, who's going to be there. If you're going to get a gold pass or a VIP pass, or if you're going to get a general pass. If you're going to get a general pass, I would wait for like buy one get ones or buy one get three or whatever. They have deals all the time for it. The Walker Stalker Cons are fun. I have a bunch of shirts from there. I got to meet a lot of people from there. I got to meet a lot of fans, a lot of celebrities, and it's a lot of fun. The best one for me was Atlanta. I've been to Orlando, Atlanta, and Nashville. And the best one is Atlanta. Everybody goes there, and I recommend them for sure. It's one of those things where if you've never been to one, wear your comfortable shoes, get some photo ops, save your money. It can be very expensive. You can go meet some people, get some autographs, get some selfies, some talk. It's a lot of fun. If you've never been to one, I do recommend them just for the experience on there too. But you got to just do it the right way. Q&A. I feel like Aaron might have something to do with Alpha just because what he did. I don't think there is a spy in Alexandria or Hilltops camp. I know we were going Clifford Primax, but Aaron is going to be hopefully a badass character. He needs to get a Merle hand, the spear thing. I'm just blanking on what it is. Where he had the knife on there, a prosthetic hand. He needs to get a knife on that thing, like taking out walkers. You doing his martial arts that he learned from Jesus. That needs to happen there for sure. But, I don't think he's going to be a bad guy. I think he's going to have the look of Comic Rick, hopefully the skills of Jesus, and the wit of Aaron. And I think he can be a badass character in season 10, and I hope he is. And I like Ross Marquand. He's just a great, funny human being, and he's a pretty cool guy. Christy Wells Reese, shouldn't Daryl, an abused child, kill Alpha and an abuser? Yeah, I agree with that. If Daryl takes out Alpha, I'm not going to be mad at that. I just kind of wish somebody else should get an awesome part too, right? So I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, I could see that happening. And it makes sense because Daryl taking out the abuser, I think that would be awesome. Kill Your Vibe. I have never got to meet Andy Lincoln. I've got to meet him I see him at a couple panels. People rushed the stage and people, were moved away. But the Andy Lincoln is pretty tough to get a hold of. He's not really doing many conventions now, and he didn't even do a lot of conventions back in the day when he was filming, for sure. Brian, if I get a tattoo of Fight For Us, can I get the book series signed? Sure. But you have to get Fight For Us. It's a number 4, not FOR, but, yeah. I'm not saying you should get a tattoo or not, but that would be pretty awesome. That would be a nice commitment to the series on there too. But that would be pretty cool. And I would definitely sign your books for sure. No problem. If I saw you at a convention or whatever, I would sign all your books, whatever you have, for sure. I go a couple minutes longer just because I went, a little there too. And hopefully the buffering and stuff has been better. I played with the settings a little bit. Hopefully it's been better for everybody too. I don't know. I can't see. My thing is spinning. So, Gatlin Adams vlogs. What do you think about the king getting bit? I think it's not going to happen, but I could see something happening to Ezekiel. I just don't think it happens based on the information I have. Bride, you get the honors to... Who do you see get the honors to kill Alpha? I always thought it would be Daryl, but I wouldn't be mad if it was Carol or Negan. But if it's Daryl, it makes sense for sure. Bianca Banks, do you think Negan and Michonne will spark a romance? No. Negan is not going to be with Michonne. Michonne is going to go find Rick, and Michonne will continue to live on. So, and last one here, 036. So Rick won't be the voice in the radio. I do not think it'll be Rick on the radio. Never gonna give you up. No, I don't think it's gonna be Rick on the radio. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Remember, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, and making memories. Enjoy tonight's episode, the season 9 finale. Hopefully we'll get some more information about season 10. Once we get information, we always share it with you guys. And hopefully everyone here is a subscriber. If you're not, please hit the subscribe button to join our PT channel, Walking Dead family. It means a lot to us. Tell your friends, tell your family, anybody who you think will like the channel. Enjoy tonight's episode, and thank you guys for watching. Thanks, guys. See ya.